so thanks everyone for joining today to the Opticlear franchise webinar. Just introduce myself. My name's Rob Dancy. I am from the Franchising Centre, and we work with Opticlear to manage their franchisee recruitment. And obviously we've got here David Overton, who's the MD of Opticlear, who's going to take us through a little bit of information for people to learn more about it. I'll just be admitting people as they come through. If anyone's got any questions during the session, then just put them on the chat, and we'll either cover them through the course of the session, or we'll answer them at the end. We plan to be online for about half an hour, 40 minutes max, just to give people an insight, and then any deeper questions that people may have, we can cover those off over the phone or a one-to-one with David at head office. So right, let's crack on. David, nice to see you this morning. Thanks for your time here. The first question really is well, introduce yourself, and then let us know how Opticlear has become so successful. What is it that you do that sort of stands you apart from the others?
Well, good morning, everybody. My name's David Overton, Managing Director of Opticlear. Had a bit of a journey to get here. I actually was a franchisee for the company for 4 years before I got involved with the company. And through stages of my journey, I've ended up as Managing Director, and seeing the original Managing Director move over to America, and that's where we're now running with Opticlear over in America, separate companies I will say, and we're up to 18, 19 franchisees out in America. So I think we're, as a company, we're very active. I think to answer your question, Rob, is where of how we become so successful. I think there's many years of experience that we've been on through the journey, and I think with any company, you can't be afraid to try anything new, to see what the results will be, measure the results, and if it works, make that something that we do as a company. So in that respect, we're not afraid to listen to the franchisees. If they come up with an idea, we put it in place, we run with it, and it's just the years of experience that we've had in the industry. So in the industry itself, I've been in it for quite a few years, I understand it, and we're very well respected within the industry with the actual process of the windscreen repair and the insurance companies that we work with, to the point that on the industry, I'm actually on the panel now for British Standards. But to look at that, you only really have to look at, we've got 4,500 5-star Google reviews, and that can be clearly seen from our website. We're very proud of that.
Yeah.
So what do we do different? How do we do different? Where does that come from? And I think us as a company, when you look at some of the big PLCs that we work up against, which is Autoglass, Auto Windscreens, I mean, these are PLC owned run companies. To look at their business model and try and do the same as what they do, it's very difficult. So what we did is we looked at their business model and we did the complete opposite, because we're still chasing the same customer, or there's still the same customer needs a windscreen repair. So it's how do we get that customer is how we do differently. The bigger companies work on appointments, working on appointments, visiting customers on an appointment base. We don't. We as an organisation, we retail our work, or our windscreen repairs are more retailed, and then we use the insurance companies to, how do you want to pay? Do you want to use your insurance? Do you don't want to use the insurance, or do you just want simply windscreen repair and they can sort it out there and then? So for us, that's how we are different. So we do the complete opposite. To be in competition with someone who does it very well, it's a hard slog. So you have to really try and think outside the box and do something different to chase that same customer, and that's why we've become successful.
Yeah, and so that unique offering is that you are basically able to put your franchisees in supermarket car parks across the country, which gives them that immediate footfall. Almost the customers are coming to them, and seeing that the service is there for them to use. And that puts you aside from the others, and really gives the franchisees a real good start, doesn't it?
Look, you're absolutely spot on, and that's something that we do differently, and that's how we do things differently. To give you some idea, the retail relationships we have with the supermarket brands, Morrison's, Sainsbury's, we do DIY stores of B&Q and Homebase, and also a lot of landowners around the country, retail parks. I think if you look at it, why is it so successful? If you look at the figures and the facts, which is 1 in 6 cars will have a windscreen that will need repaired. 1 in 6. If you take a typical Morrison's or a Sainsbury's car park, it has car parking space for up to 300 to 400 cars. So 300 cars turn up at a supermarket, and then 1 hour later, them 300 go and another 300 turn up. And that's where we're slightly different, because anyone who's listening to this today will understand if they've had a chip in the windscreen, you have to find your insurance, you ring your insurance will then organise someone to come round to your house, which is a convenient time for them or you, or when's best. And you'll have to wait in either an AM or a PM insurance, an AM or a PM appointment. So it's quite long-winded. The way we do it, we are more of what I call the barber shop. We literally, someone comes in, does a shopping, spots us, we're there. The branding's very unique. People can find us online very easy. They'll get the windscreen repair while they're shopping, they come out, paperwork's done, and off they go. Something that needs to be done has been ticked off for them. So in that respect, yeah, and especially with today's prices for fuel and things like that, riding around doing 6 or 7 appointments all day with fuel prices as they are, if you can go to one location, park up, do your jobs for the day and come back again, and that's your only commuting or traveling about, you won't be late for an appointment because we don't make them. People can see where we are because we have a very clear online presence, very clear, very quick, very simple. And I urge people to have a look at our website, Opticlear, test it, put a postcode in, put a registration number in, and you'll see the diaries, well, where our guys are working and when and how long they're going to be there for.
Yeah, fantastic. And that is what stands you apart, but also the success that the company has and the franchisees benefit from is also a lot to do with the back end system. I mean, any good franchisor, is actually built on business systems rather than it's not just the brand and just the service. It's that back end system. And I know that Opticlear over the recent years has spent a lot of money, time, and effort on the back end system, which then ties in amazingly with the insurance company. So just elaborate a bit on that if you can, David.
When I first started as a franchisee many years ago, we was writing all our invoices out and all our little job tickets on a duplicate book, name and address, copy for me, copy for customer, copy for insurance company, copy for, it was like this. And at the end of the week, we'd have to put it all in a little envelope and we'd run down to the post office, put it in secure delivery and send it in. When I got involved and when I become from franchisee to franchisor, that's when I thought, right. And I was put on a bit of a challenge, really. Someone said, you can't really digitalize a windscreen repair company. And I felt that was a challenge. So we did. So we've then become an app developer, Android developer, and we've built our own CRM system. We've built our own websites. We have done absolutely everything. So where before, to give you a very quick example of the processes of how it works, the simplicity of it, if we did a windscreen repair, let's say in Edinburgh, for an insurance company, it would take about 6 to 7 days before that paperwork would hit head office. Head office, us here, would process that, send it to Aviva as a hard copy. Aviva would then send it back. It would then get audited. The invoice would get paid. That invoice was touched probably about anywhere between 17 to 22 times. Someone would have that piece of paper in their hand. We've now got it down to 3 people will now look at that invoice, and it will take less than 2 hours. So the infrastructure has gone from a 12-day, 18 people dealing with it to 2 or 3 hours, and it's done, it's gone, and it's on the desk where it needs to be to get paid.
That's amazing. And the customer, at the point of contact, the customer gives the details. We search up their car. They know what insurance company they're with. We Opticlear know the excess on that particular insurance for that insurance company. And I'm right in saying the customer pays the excess up front, and then the claim is then done on behalf of the customer through insurance company, and you and the franchisees get paid the balance however later.
Yeah. So as a customer's point of view, customer will walk up, put their details in, we ask them some very simple questions, and then behind the scenes it gets dealt with. If we need to collect an excess, we know, because we have trading history and we know what happens, we know policy details inside and out. And yes, super simple. But the good thing about it, and this is my main goal, this is my main goal for all of this, is being a franchisee and understanding how much work was involved, because I used to go home at night and then I had a stack amount of paperwork to deal with. But now when a franchisee goes home at night, he can sort through, have a quick flick, anything he needs to do, any tasks, it's all there. He just runs the tasks, looks what he needs to do, organizes his diary, and then he can enjoy family time. Yeah,
perfect. And that's the investment that you've made in systems and processes and back-end management systems is what makes the franchisee's life a lot easier than it used to be by the sounds of things, and just make sure that things are done and traced and made accountable. Yeah.
I think looking at the software and development, to give you some to people who's watching this now today, is the investment level, and it's the same with an investment on a franchise. The investment level that I've done personally into this business is 3.5 years of time in developing software before we launched it, and several £100,000. And we were very proud of that when we finally got it up and running and launched it. And we just provided that completely free of charge, no extra cost to the existing franchisees. So it's what is expected as a franchisor to keep developing.
Yeah, and that's like a good franchisor will always innovate, always think about the next step, and look out on behalf of the franchise network, which is definitely what you do. Okay, great. So we've touched there on where Opticlear came from, what differentiates it, and what's making it successful today for you as the franchisor and for the franchise network out there. We talked about the partnership brands, being out there and actually giving franchisees immediate footfall, which just keeps refreshing, multiple times throughout the day, because that's the nature of supermarkets and DIY stores, etc. Putting you right in front of the customer, which is what we all want. So moving on then to support. So again, a good franchisor has the support of their franchise network at the forefront of everything they do. And I know you're a massive advocate of that too, David. So tell us a little bit about how you support your franchisees from, obviously we take you through the recruitment process, but to training, launch, ongoing, and more.
Okay, so we're again probably slightly different to the other franchisors out there. You will come in, you will do training with us. While you are training, part of the front, I can only go back and tell you what my experience was when I joined. So I knew what support I wanted from franchisee to franchisor, and I've been there, done that. So I have a really good insight of what I need to deliver as franchisor to the franchisees now. So first thing is the training is all completed by another franchisee. So when you come to join us, we don't sit there, and we do have a very nice training facilities. We have the latest technology and everything that you would expect. But you actually, whoever joins in actually hooks up with another franchisee. So I'll make a phone call to a franchisee and say, "You ready? Can you do this week?" "Yes, you can." They come in, and you will actually train and work with another franchisee. You will do all the technical stuff here. We pay for, it's so important that on that training week that you have a clear mind when you come. So we pay for your hotel, we buy you a beer at night, we pay for your fry up in the morning, and we send you away. So all accommodation and everything. We don't want franchisees coming here and saying, well, they've got digs 22 mile away and they've got, do you know what I mean? We take all that element out. We have to remove everything because this is such an important week for everybody involved. And then what happens after a part of the week here, you will then pick yourself up, and we put you and John, and we while you're here, we put the graphics on the van, we put the tools we put the graphics on the van, we put tools in your toolbox, we put you in a uniform, and then the latter part of the training week, you're actually on site. You're actually on site, really doing it live, nothing staged, real customers with real results, and so you're not left out there. So that is really important. Launching a business is really important. We don't need big marketing campaigns. We don't need leaflet drops. We don't do anything like that. We just need to make sure you are ready. And that is one of the big things. But when you are ready, we then look after all your communication. We look after your Google account. We look after your Google reviews. We do any incoming customer contacts that come into here. And that could be via social media. That should be by email, phone call, text message. It all feeds into a channel into here. And we also offer, and a lot of operators do this, some don't, some do. We also offer to answer all your telephone calls for you, because if you get a phone call from the website at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and you're leaning over a customer's car, you go, hello, yeah, sorry. So we professionally answer it, take the details, and we get as much information from the customer as a customer would expect. Professionally answered, done and sorted. So in that support, because we want you as an individual franchisee to go out there with a clean slate, not worrying about, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. Go out, do your work, get as many jobs done as you can, be professional, but we need to make that happen for you. We can't give you too much tasks or make you worry about certain stuff of the business, because that's what we do. And that's what support is. But support goes two ways. And this is what, like you've just mentioned earlier, this is what I like. I like if we're going to deal with something for you, we need to deal with something for you, give us the information so we can deal with it for you on your behalf. Don't clam up on us, be open. And that's the way for a good relationship. And that then almost leads into what sort of people we're looking for as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, support, like I said, support is proactive. So the franchisor or you site guys are proactively taking someone through a journey, through a process which will help them, put them and make them ready to serve. But also a franchisor is there to give reactive support. And that reactive support is the franchisee picking the phone up and asking a question, because whatever problem or challenge that you might suddenly face in a day, which you might think is terrible, you've seen or heard it before, and you can put them at ease and say, don't worry, that's happened before. Then just do this, do that, and that should sort it out, and don't worry about it, it's fine. And that's what is the power of being part of a network. Because if you're in business on your own and you're stuck, you go down the pub and you talk to your mates and you speak to your family, and they've all got an opinion. But it's not the right one. It's not the right one. But with the franchise network, speak to David or anyone of his team, and they will know the right answer. There's
always a neighbouring franchise to help. There's always someone. We've had everything from I've run out of something. Well, he's got some, borrow some from him. We can get stuff out to you the next day. But I think the biggest thing with support, if someone comes to us with a problem, whether it's customer or franchisee, we take that problem, take ownership, and help them build that and take ownership of the problem, sort it out, give it back to them. It's not a problem anymore. And as soon as anyone sees that, they feel reassured everything's going to be okay. Whatever the outcome will be, we will endeavour to, there's a journey.
Yeah, and look, support is a journey. And it's from that training to then getting out there and being live. And actually just, talking there, it makes it really clear how quickly you can get out in the field and doing the business. There's none of this looking for premises, there's none of setting up any marketing stuff. It's all, you can literally be training one week, live the next, which is fantastic. But that journey that a franchisee goes on, whatever stage you're at, and however hard you want to drive your business, the support is there. And we've talked about the supermarkets and the DIY stores and being out in front of those customers, but there's commercial work as well. So, you might not. I know, David. There are some franchisees that don't do supermarket stuff, and they mainly focus on commercial stuff. And actually, but you want to build that journey. But at the point that someone's wants to put their hand up and say, I'd really like to crack into the commercial work. Now I've got my sort of retail stuff under control. How do I do that? And no doubt,
Absolutely.
That's where you come in and support them.
We will support any journey. We've got individual projects going on all the time. And as we speak now, we've got some individual projects on for different ways of delivering the business for different areas that suit different people. So, but going back to the support, that you've got to remember that myself, I was a franchisee for many years before becoming a franchisor. We've got two ladies who work with us, who one of them's now just hit 16 years. So if you pick a phone up to her and you're standing in a car park with we need an answer with whatever insurance company, whatever the process is, she knows. And then we've got a dedicated franchisee support, Hayley, who sits there, supports the network, looks after them, phones her customers, does everything. So yeah, all I can say is we like, if someone does want to go down the commercial route, we can do that. But let's go out, let's deal with the retail work first. The commercial work will come in. You're then going into a different part of the business. It's done in different ways, but that's quite a detailed project that we talk to individuals about as well. Yeah,
so look, the support is there, both reactive and proactive. Absolutely. And that's what makes a successful network, where someone like David is really dedicated to giving the best support possible. Okay, fantastic. So let's move on to another topic, really, in terms of who we're looking for, really, or who Opticlear are looking for. What makes a there's no perfect avatar of a franchisee.
No, absolutely, Rob.
In anything to do with franchising, but what sort of person makes a good Opticlear franchisee?
Do you know what? I've been thinking about this a lot, and I know me and you have had a lot of conversations about what we're looking for, who we're looking for. I can only go back to let's go back 5 years ago. I picked five franchisees. I made them take all individual personality type of test, which comes out which sort of personality they are, and I would take every single one of those franchisees on again. Absolutely, and they all come back as different. So this one is not strong on marketing, this one's not strong on it. They all come back with different personalities, different strengths, different weaknesses. But I think as an individual, there's two things: is what makes a good franchisee and what makes a good franchisor. A good franchisee, you need to be reliable, but that is reliable to yourself or himself or herself, as there. You've got to trust your franchisor. That's one thing. Don't be afraid to ask for any help at all, because no question's a dumb question. And if anything else, is believe in yourself as an individual that you can do it. Just believe in yourself. But again, you need to be picking a franchisor, and this is where I think my goals are. That as a managing director of Opticlear, I'm about my brand, our business, how we do things. I'm passionate. I'm supported. We support. Honesty is a massive thing between franchisee, franchisor, and we need to adapt to things that change. Markets change, pandemics happen, fuels happen, this happen. We need to be able to have the ability to adapt to things. But really, as a franchisor, what makes a good franchisee always trust the partner you choose, be honest to yourself and be reliable to yourself. If you know, it's quite an old sort of thing, but don't be afraid to ask any help, and just believe in yourself.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, the system's there, the market's there, it works. Yeah. So yeah,
we are not looking for someone who's got a first honours degree in this, someone's got marketing skills. We have everything. It's there. We're looking for someone who's going to. We're looking for someone who's going to use. We supply a load of tools and processes. We're looking for someone to and resources. We're looking to someone to use all of those together at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that the best or the most successful franchisees are the ones that work hard and follow the system that's in place.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The best franchisors are the ones, as we discussed, are the ones that have the support of their franchisees at the forefront. But so what makes a good franchisee, any kind of franchise really, is work hard, follow the system, but have that sort of proactiveness, positivity, take on challenges on the chin, and don't be afraid to ask questions, because you've got to get out of bed in the morning, really, haven't you? You've got to
I call
motivated, get out of the bed in the morning and do it. And if you don't do it, and if you sit around and watch daytime television till 11 o'clock, well, you're just doing yourself a disfavor, aren't you, really?
I call them duvet days. Someone looks out the window, go, no, and they shut the curtain again. It's a duvet day. Don't do it. It's a bit like, I mean, I don't, but it's a bit like when you hear people say they go to the gym in the morning at 7 o'clock in the morning, they feel great for it. Be positive.
Yeah, and proactive, when I've talked to the franchisees and I've talked to you, the ones that are more proactive and do as much as they possibly can to get as many windscreen repairs. At the end of the day, the more windscreen repairs you do, the more turnover you're going to get, the more money you're going to earn. And the ones that come up in this, sometimes you get people that come up to you in the car park and they say, "Oh, I've just seen you, but I've done my shopping." And so, as a franchisee, you just say, "Well, look, don't worry about that, sir or madam. Give us your details. You're obviously local. I'm local. I can pop round and do it on your drive tomorrow morning or on my way home." And but then also knocking on doors and getting those commercial contracts, or just networking and finding out what's in the area. The more proactive you can be, the better.
Do you know what? Just driving around in your van and putting your van on your driveway will start asking questions. They open the opportunity. You just don't realise. I think to give people on here a bit of an idea, we launched a new business, as we know, and he had his first day yesterday. No, so first day Monday and Tuesday, and he's done more today and yesterday. He actually did more numbers in 2 days than the person who's been with us for 10 years, who's a superstar. So he's launched with so much enthusiasm. It's such a proud moment to see that he's never done it. He's never done it before in his life. But it's been an amazing experience watching him, and he's never done it before. And, and when he goes and does the numbers that he's done, we've had some great conversations in the evening with him, and he's absolutely buzzing. It's brilliant.
Yeah, and that's fantastic to see, giving someone that opportunity to get out there and do it. And you know what, the funny thing is whenever a franchisee starts, their biggest fear is, do I get customers? Can I get customers? And you get the call, and it's a natural sort of fear of anyone starting any business. You want to make sure that someone comes in through the door as such. My time in franchising, I remember speaking to franchisees, and they're like, "You won't believe it, I got a customer. And you're like, "Yeah, I told you would." And they're like, "Yeah, actually I've had 4 or 5 customers." And they just can't believe it, but they're so excited about it. And it's just that once you get that first couple of days out of the way and you can see what you can do, just push on.
Yeah, it becomes natural, just becomes normal. It becomes the norm then, you see. That's how it is. But when it becomes the normal, that's then where our systems and processes we've adopted, which is support, which is take everything away from the franchise. You have full control of your business, but we take all the stuff away so they can actually go home at night. And there's some franchise business also, when they get home at night, he's got his wife sitting there with her invoices and they're working it out and they're doing this. No, just enjoy life.
Brilliant. Okay, look, we're conscious of time, but we've got the last sort of topic we wanted to just cover in this little session was the investment and potential returns. So, we're very open of what the investment is. You can see that, but just quickly give us a few minutes on that.
Okay, so there's two things. There's 2 things that obviously that everyone is interested in. What's the investment, and what sort of profit or return on investment can I get? With £20,000 plus VAT, you get your VAT back. You need that as a franchise, the franchise fee. You'll need to purchase a van. We'll talk to you about the van. It doesn't have to be a £18,000, £25,000 van. Although we've got some franchisees now have gone electric vans and spent 30 grand on one, but they're established. They've been with us years. They feel confidence in investing extra. So the van, we'll talk about that. But your investment will be, you need to invest your own personal time. You need to be dedicated and you need to believe in yourself. That is a big part of the investment. It's not just a given of putting the money in. It's the other part of it, which is you put it in and you put yourself into the business as well. So that's a big part of the investment, and you need family who's going to support you. You need a wife who's going to support you and understand about their profit. We have profit or your return on your investment. You should be paying. The best way I can say this is the sort of thing I need to do a one-to-one and show you all the figures. It's very difficult to do it here. You should be paying corporation tax in your first year, which is really good. Well, that's actually fantastic for any startup new business. So you will be paying yourself a good, healthy wage. Look, let's get this right. This is not a business where you're going to have choose whether you want a yellow or a red Ferrari. This is a business where you're going to go on holiday, enjoy nice things in life, and just enjoy what you do, and know that for me, the return on the investment gave me family time. It gave me an achievement. I was very proud of that, and I was very satisfied of what I achieved as a franchisee. But then that's when I wanted to get involved and become the franchisor, because I just loved the passion and I knew the opportunity that it would bring. But now we've got some very long-standing franchisees who have made have a very good lifestyle, financially lifestyles. Look, this is a work-life
balance as well, isn't it? It's sort of, a lot of people. I spoke to someone the other day who's dealing with loads of staff, and he's like, you know what, I just don't want to deal with staff anymore. I want to do something where it's just me. I can do my thing, earn some decent money, and then come home at night and enjoy my time with my family. And so work-life balance is a great return.
That's a huge return, and that's what I hear a lot of now. And you've got to remember, when I become a franchisee, I was in the corporate world working for Mercedes-Benz, traveling to Germany all the time, coming back, doing training modules. Strange. I had 2 company cars. I spent 5 days a week in Stuttgart, coming back. And to become a franchisee was like, it's only a van in a car park or whatever it is in a toolbox, but it was mine. And
yeah,
that's right.
Makes a big difference, isn't it? And but in terms of investment, so the investment is actually relatively low investment to get started and get out there doing the business, and then also ongoing costs, because you don't have any offices. Your office is at home for your admin, but you're out in the van. Your overheads are the van, and a bit of fuel and some insurance, basically. So you're very low overheads. So your ongoing returns. It's very easy, when you're self-employed, to be quite tax efficient with, costs that you can put through the business to make yourself tax efficient. Enables you to earn probably much higher than you would be if you were PAYE earnings. So
I'll touch on that. Sometimes I give you some idea that what you are selling, you're selling a service and your labor. You are not selling an item. This is sometimes when you get into certain types or parts of business, you'll have to then buy the franchise, do that, and then put £8,000 worth of stock in. And then you might sell that stock, wait for it to get paid, and you've got to replace that stock, and then stock's going up in price, and you've got to do this. You're selling a labor and a service, and ongoing consumables are pennies. A lot of the consumables that we give you or you need to do the job, yes, it's expensive. It's expensive consumable stuff, but we give you it free of charge because it's all part of the franchise management fee. Ongoing, but the consumables that we send out, we will send that out free of charge, no post. there'll be no cost on some of the items, and there's a few items, consumables. I looked at one of the franchisees last week, and in a year, his items that he's bought from me, as in branded T-shirts or this, that, and the other, and little seals that he used and little drill bits, was just under £600 in a year.
Wow.
So and I've always, the most valuable piece of stock at the moment you'll put in your van when you're riding around, your van has value in there, is your fuel.
Yeah. Yeah, and
honestly, that.
And touching on fuel, because it's a sort of hot topic at the moment, isn't it? And yes, fuel has gone up, but the beauty of this is that you aren't traveling around a lot. It's not like you're visiting.
You go to your place of work for the day.
You're like an Amazon driver where you're literally place after place all day long, 8 days, 8 hours a day, 6 days a week.
I was talking with a daily drop driver, or what they want to call themselves, and he was looking for a different route of business because the parcels he's dropping off, he wasn't getting any more money, but his fuel is just, well, we all know what's happened with fuel.
Yeah, and that costs not really a thing to get to with the Opticlear franchise. Okay, good. Look, that's been really, really interesting, and I hope those that have joined today and those that are listening thereafter on the recorded one really get the insight that they're looking for. So thanks for that. In terms of next steps, so I manage the recruitment of the inquiries, and the next step really is for people to get in touch. You've all had the emails from us, any text messages, there's no excuse. If someone wants to get hold of me, they can pretty much do that in a number of ways. So just get in touch, and I will have a further conversation to talk about available territory in your area, cover off any immediate questions. But ultimately, what we aim to do, because the system that we've talked about is really impressive. It's so impressive, and once you've seen it, with your own eyes, and David actually takes you through, like a live demo, putting your own car through there. It's really really impressive. So what ultimately we do, once we've had a conversation after this with me, just to clarify a few things, we'll then get you up to Lincolnshire to meet David face to face. His team make a good coffee, and then get him on the screen, and we'll get you looking at the software, and then build on it from there, really. So that's the next more formal step after a conversation with me, is to have a face-to-face meeting with David at the head office. And then from there, you can talk to other franchisees, you can look at the legal agreement, go through all the process that needs to go through. But it's really quick. We can get you up and running very quickly from there after.
I'd like to say one more thing. When someone comes and sees me, we will sit there, look at live jobs. We'll pick randomly a franchisee. We'll look at the live jobs going through, and we'll also take you in, and I'll talk them through windscreen repair and show them what's involved. They can meet the two ladies in the office and Sarah as well, and they'll get a good feel of how it works. I think there's one thing that I'm very passionate about is, you need, as someone looking at it, we need to give you as much information to give you whether you want to join or not. We need to give you enough information there. We're not here to sell a franchise. We're here to work with individuals and become partners. But yeah, we're here. We're very open, very extremely open. It's not a polished process of an interview. It's a sit down. It's very casual. We'll show you exactly what goes on and how it works. So we go over to you, Rob. But there you go. Thank you.
Yeah, perfect. No, that's great. Well, thank you very much for your time today, David. Yeah, look forward to chatting to some of you. This will go out on an email later in the week to everyone, so people will pick it up, or those that have got it on today can rewatch it. But thanks very much, and we look forward to hearing from people in the future.
Okay, thank you very much. All the best.
Thanks, David. All right, cheers, Em.
Bye.
Bye.